because of what they were able to do earlier on in the match.
A lot of that piled onto Looper right now. He's pretty big. Youmuu's to get into position for Huhi. He's going to find the kill that he wants here. Smart play by Xbox.
He's on the hunt! Swing!
That's a first.
I like your sound effects better. We're going to have to make a soundboard. So
Yeah.
so one of the things too with Talon, if like people are inspired to go out and play Talon, for first time users, my first time on the rework Talon, I tried to do a parkour over a wall to gain distance after I'd already popped my ult, because I was so used to the old Talon and using your
Right.
for jumping. Don't do that, because as soon as you pop a spell like that, all your ult blades will collapse before, and then you just hop over the wall and you're
30 seconds until minions spawn.
no damage. Right there, though, that was just a case of not being able to get there in time.
Hi,
And
man.
the channel for the
How you doing?
already being close enough
Hey.
for the protected recall.
I love the change though. Being able to kind of direct your blades more feels very, very good.
Yeah.
Feels good for these guys. 2-0-4 for Huhi. He is ready to go in again. Actually waiting on his cooldown for the Dust Blade.
Minions have spawned.
Towards forward. Things coming in actually down towards the side of where Looper is. I don't think they're actually forcing the LG to move. They're just saying we have control of this top side, and they're going to start flooding bodies in here and get some wards.
Yeah. The cooldown on Talon's ult incredibly low. Although burning the flash definitely hurts for going for that play. Ooh, he's still on the hunt, and it looks like they're aiming towards Froggen. Froggen pretty defensive though, and just popping the board down.
Different game for Froggen as well. We saw him being able to put out much more damage in this point early game. Ragnarok onto the gravity field. He's going to be able to walk around like a kiddie pool. Perfectly fine.
All right, I actually did not expect or see the setup for that kick onto Looper. Regardless though, CLG now with an extra man advantage, and the only ultimates that were used were the Ragnarok as well as, well actually 6A even ulted as well.
Yeah.
The Rumble ultimate, and it looks like with all those being used, they decided to go purchase with that money. It's just a case of being extending pretty far for this minion wave. That minion wave will eventually get to safer territory, and you can try and farm it at the turret. Especially considering all the fighting they've been doing over vision on their red quadrant. It has to have more of this respect we've been talking about this threat. Areas that Fog of War is
Froggen, just about 1,900 gold that he's sitting on. You see, go back and spend that right now, putting some items in his pocket. Venus Codex, Lost Chapter. See a quick finish on the side yet either. Yeah. More pressure. Gonna be alone. Possibly where they take that fight. All right.
keep just showing off. Robin Hood over here.
Send him a message. He's keeping that ratio up. Like, I can hit one? Let's do it. Not waiting too long to get the arrows back up just yet. And now who he knows actually, he's getting a little bit of love on the top side. Safer. You can see him not farming too far. Flash. After move
Keep track of these cooldowns.
Yep.
Especially these flashes, because both teams have just been very content to push up sideways and look for picks. There are options for those both squads. Ash Arrow also is one of those very low cooldowns. Even though he didn't go super utility focused route of the style, more immediate attack of the Hurricane plus Infinity Edge, which I actually quite like. Higher than the game from auto attacks does mean that the opportunities for those arrows are a little bit further between.
True.
And even with this chainmail, it looks like maybe he's going for Guardian Angel. The amount of burst damage. I guess he's just like resigned to probably getting bursted by
An enemy has been slain.
He's like, I'll just get back up.
He becomes an even bigger target after Froggen finishes his Zhonya's too. Looper's gonna be gold. Then Froggy goes gold. I'm like, all right, Keith, you might get wild growth, but you can still die at that point. Things could get dangerous. Back onto the rift pretty much with all 5 here. A bit of a lull for the last moment. And now onto the Cloud Drake. 3 dragons. Now for Chronologic Gaming. And keep some variety going. Ocean, mountain, and now Cloud Drake.
Are they gonna get lucky on an Infernal? No! Not. Maybe next time.
Motherfuckers.
On any OCS. Here we go though. Huhi on the hunt again. I don't know if Looper is the best target. You already mentioned his current Zonias, so that definitely wards off quite a lot of the threat.
He's got a
unless
nice
he got his backup.
He's got nice vision through river, through Tri-Brush. Also a little bit of help from McSmithy behind. It's kind of was replicated by Acadian and Looper top lane, but Looper with the back, going to hold down on the bot side now. He can teleport into anything that happens here. Be a pretty crazy fight if we start one off. Very split for Chronologic Gaming.
From Echofox, that vision that you mentioned, he's starting to creep up into the boost, watching up the jungle. Really situated in the we have CLG right now, though, pushing up mid and top. A little bit of time with this turret should be enough to take it. Very close at least.
6-8 damage definitely makes it close. Only a few more shots from that. It'll be much easier passing for CLG in just a few moments.
Go for a proactive arrow. Try to pick someone off. At the moment, though, CLG are doing a pretty good job of sticking together, and they're one person off on the side. Extremely difficult to hit with one of those. So you can see why there's been a lull here. The options are just fairly difficult to execute. That's true for Echofox. Right here, though, they're trying to corral him.
Aframu won't die right away.
Base race option.
No, they're going to pull back, it seems. They feel like they can get the fight in here. A good arrow onto somebody could mean a never move into a Frogging Gravity field. There's not much of a tank to stand up on the side of CLG.
Yeah, look at this defense by CLG. They're just giving Ruby time. He got a whole turret himself.
Yep.
And Echofox didn't push down mid lane to go for the race either, but now they go for the arrow.
Aframu, they can't really walk through Xmithy, though, to get to their arrow target. Unfortunately, arrow for Ragnarok.
Yeah, they made the call here, CLG, to buy more time, and they got the inhibitor turret. Will they be able to take it?
So Acadian can't get back in. He's almost dead. Darshan says he wants to go in. Lantern out as the team calls back. We have pressure on that inhib. We just want to toy with Echofox right now. Hugi to the back. Polymorph down. Over the wall. The last Ranger's shot coming in from Keith. Takes him down. Stixay gets a bird, and now they're going to start moving forward. Aframu gets locked down. Teleport now coming in. And stopped. Well chosen. They're trying to push off the fight here. Said do not do it. No choice.
That's almost an eerily similar situation to the last game where it seemed like they had pulled off this disengage with used their distance, but then goes right into the center of the enemy team, and Gate on blue, able to protect the back line long enough. Now it's a Baron up, and we're going wild.
7,000 on the Baron. Members low for Fox. That health means Fox is going to take a lot more damage before Xmithy needs to get in, and he has been accurate on his smite. Putting Acadian to the test. The 50-50 Darshan just goes right through the front door of the Baron pit. Says, high five, everybody. He's going to stop us out. Baron going to get smited down by Xmithy. A quadra kill for who they call Darshan now.
What? They're both still alive, too? Oh man, Baron just kicking some ass here. Things are definitely wild in this game, Riv.
That was intense. The choice of whether to go or not. They were almost unaware of that. Yeah, it was going to fall, but see Acadian, that fell. It's just that much more pressure they didn't realize they had to deal with on the point of a Baron also now coming to the front doorstep. 30 minutes in, Chronologic Gaming just turns the game on its head.
Party time for them. Oh my goodness, just like that, CLG are looking like they'll be able to get a pretty good route. Alright, let's take another look. Everybody on Echofox is scared of CLG, so they move up behind Baron. They all get hit with the spikes. Darshan comes in.
God damn it.
Guns blazing. The kills almost everybody. Acadian, let's see what happens here. 800. He didn't smite until after there, it looks like. So Smithy here gets in with the, yeah, oh man, that is a tilter. Those panic situations in the Baron, where you have all 5 members, everyone's initial reaction is like, oh, danger's incoming from the outside. So you all group up near the back of the Baron, but that's when you get hit with these giant AoE spikes. Everyone gets so low, whereas there's only 2 members there from CLG, and you know, focusing more damage into Baron leaves you without damage to deal with the CLG threat. Anyways, that is all in the past now, and let's take a look at the pushes.
CLG was very ready once they started up after that fight and had the wave in their position. Probably why Fox tried to push himself into that Baron. Really would have helped them with some breathing room on these turrets. Now CLG cleaning up the work they set before. The last outer turret goes down, and they are on to one of the last inhibitors and turrets in the base. Fuki even looking to get into the side here so they can once again get a pinch fight. We've seen time and time again here from Chronologic Gaming with this composition. And slowly getting damage on the turret. You can see Fox not even really answering back with their own. That turret not long ago this one.
Yeah, the turret's not long. Fuki's on the inhibitor as well.
Yeah.
One exposed, one's already dead. Like, oh man, Echo Fox. They don't have very many options. Time is working against them. They're really looking for the perfect arrow to try and push someone down, though. Let's see who he goes for, because there's a lot of pressure. He only has one. He's a really rough target.
You
Smithy
fucking
is
asshole.
a very bad target to go for. And the rest of the members of CLG are the ones playing super safe, so looks like they're giving them an option. The inhibitor's down.
Might be able to do something silly, like throw your redemption down behind the turret, get that distance they need to even take it. CLG really in the driver's seat right now.
Yep, they're gonna go right towards the next. They might actually not even bother here.
Minion wave crashing in top, also mid, who he's been facilitating. Fox needs to pull the trigger at some point. This is a go for broke moment.
Yeah, who can he even look for though?
Smithy, you see him just ghosting, trying to pull some ultimates out of Fox here, seeing if they will break in this tense situation.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're just gonna have to let that go down. They're gonna say, we'll fight the 9 double next turret. Even CLG is saying, we'll leave the turret up. It's easier to fight around it. Fox is taking it.
CLG knows that they have so many things working in their advantage that as long as they play defensively, they can do a lot of work.
Ultimate from Acadian saying, maybe if we do something to blow your ultimates.
He's sitting here
he loses his.
On Talon, like, I've got a Quicksilver Sash, I got my ultimate ready.
Jump me, bro. Please. There it is. Hops over the turret. Not even a chance for Acadian on that. Pressure to the bot lane. Not worth it just yet. He messed up first.
Yeah, now Echo Fox has less tools to work with, and the situation just getting more and more scary. The health on the turret almost gone.
Darshan just missed. There it is. Smithy pulling the trigger. Polymorph onto him. Froggen is the control for Huki. He's back and saved by Wild Growth. Beads very close to going down. Tries to get out of redemption.
They're turning it.
Good intel right away. Equalizer goes back down. Takes down Keith. He's going to come back up on GA to try and help the team. And only Smithy is down. Bleeding health bars on the side of Fox, but Huki is still in the base having a party by himself.
Oh man, this is a long siege here. Darshan goes in on Looper though.
They got the turret. Progress on the bot side for CLG here. Baron up in 2 minutes. And they may just grab the Ocean Drake on the way out. An extended party inside of Fox's base.
Yeah, that's one of those parties where somebody invites a friend of a friend, and that guy invites a whole bunch of his friends, and you end up with, I don't know who's in here. They started breaking all of my TVs. And look at the base now. Everything's destroyed. Echo Fox are not going to throw parties anymore in this series, I guess.
Don't fucking mess with Ace.
Just one reason we can try it today, so having a good week for himself and the team to start things off. They do actually have to go up against FlyQuest, who Fox sees himself playing coming up in the recent games, so definitely not the easiest route to the end of the season.
Definitely true, and as we've seen, every single series,
fucking dick.
There have been a lot of unpredictable moves.
An enemy is legendary.
Feeling pretty confident too. If they're able to close this one out, about their at least having a playoff spot.
Fuck Warwick up.
Quick little yoink there. Able to get this red
This
buff away.
bastard.
They go all the way, they can look at 11 and 7.
Yeah, I believe they also, as far as the strength of the schedules and the win-loss. Wow, Echo Fox down here, and it is not over quite yet. They've got 2 inhibitors back up. You know, a lot of turns. And everybody up mid.
Two-shot barrage, not doing too much. This passes through multiple members.
He's in there.
Oh, right down the channel behind Blue Buff. They're going to take quite a bit of damage. This gets time. They didn't want the fight. They'll say, we'll pressure you now at Baron. Now that you're starting off low HP. It's going to be right halfway. Fox is going to be able to look before they leap on this one. Nice redemption to kind of cool off the pressure of that start.
Honestly, CLG are trying to right now. They're like, go, super minion, get up there, pressure that Nexus turret. Then we can retreat back to the Baron. Now they're on the Baron again, burning it down here. Echo Fox have to go for it.
They got a 3-2 split. The box out of the brush just to deny movement towards Baron. Easy take for Xmithy. Do they turn or do they retreat? It looks like Looper's going to be the focus here. He's too far in front, and Cadian cannot match that. Keith, Wild Growth, puts himself in a very scary position. Now they look to Hoogie. Quicksilver on himself, and Keith is now in a bad spot as the team turns to go for Hoogie. Cadian leaves everybody behind. A double kill coming in for Darshan. Sticksay gathers one for the team, and this one will fizzle out with Counter Logic Gaming heading for Echo Fox's base.
Talon is just fun to watch. The remake here with the parkour, whether he's winning or losing. All right, he gets snared up here. Cadian, how does he get out of this one? No, Cannon Minion!
Oh, so close. Yeah. Maybe
He's not having any of that though. My last hit.
those little things like players usually don't know when the extended kill for Penta's is there, or if he's gonna execute it or not. So just kill him. It's
Honestly though, that's gonna be CLG moving into the base. Just a formality here left with the Nexus turret.
yep, very nicely done.
Oh, actually, I say that. Reinforcements are coming up.
This is Kobe. Technically, you're faking me out. I'm supposed to listen to you. You're the caller. It could be CLG getting the base, but it looks like Fox doing their damnedest to stop this one. Gate now gonna go down. The Nexus is in peril. It's taking damage. A final shot is gonna put gold in a member's pocket of Counter Logic Gaming. The double kill from Hoogie to end out a game on Talon, and the series to Counter Logic Gaming over Echo Fox. Strong starts again from Echo Fox. They're finding the early game a stride that they lose. Somehow in the middle of the game, their confidence just doesn't push forward. They don't use it. They feel like maybe they're too far ahead, and they can roll with that. But really, they need to keep pressuring. They're too far.
Crucial moments there, man. Yeah. That Baron, where CLG wins a 2 versus 5, gets the Baron.
Darshan and Xmithy blown up this one.
Darshan and Xmithy absolutely blowing this game up.
Hoogie again. It's not really questioned anymore, but puts another champion in that pool for himself to say, I can control mid quite well. And the roamers are really where his wheelhouse is. Echo Fox still have the ability now, looking at their score. 9-9 would have been it if they got all of their victories. So they'll look for that 8 and 10 possibly as they keep going. Finalize their 3 last minutes. Like you said, it's going to be tough. They don't have the easiest games.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be tough. I mean, all the teams that are right around that like kind of on the edge, better than 9 and 2 Nail at the moment.
It's been crazy. This game we saw going back and forth. CLG as well showing a bit of hesitation in some of the comps that they were putting together. And we saw these fights lasting a little too long at Dragon, a little too long at another objective. And it seems to kind of tunes a bit. We haven't seen this mostly, but there was the patch change and whatnot where the champions come in. It looks like CLG is going to benefit a bit from this as the late game is falling into their favor a bit more here. They're looking more like season, any season.
Yeah, definitely not have that double super glide one up in 2-0.
Yeah.
You don't have to push this to game 3. And actually, this is one of our earliest days now.
What are you trying to say, Kobe? No.
I guess we'll see. Who are we going for as far as the interview? Because CLG, I mean, last time I talked to Smithy, they were talking about no more excuses. You know,
Exactly.
Before there are a lot of things pointing to with trying to get rolling in the beginning of the season, and meta concerns or not really liking to play some of the champions that aren't really strong.
Right.
It does seem trending back to the favorite champions that you like. As far as the decision making and communication and decisiveness, though, all definitely still on the table.
You can see it's always been like that team communication or that team decision as well. If you go back to the Rengar, we noticed the play that's always the team decision. They were behind him, and now we see Darshan not having to play those tanks, getting out a little more aggression and really being able to bring damage to the table.
Darshan's Rumble.
Something else we were looking
9-1-8.
for. Yeah, something else we were looking for is for him to pop off, and he starts to do so. So for a first-hand account on that win, let's hear from Captain Flowers and the CLG support.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I am here with Afromoo to talk about the win that CLG was just able to acquire up against Echo Fox. How are you and the CLG boys feeling after that victory?
We're all right. It was an okay 2-0. Had some unlucky decisions, mostly in team fights and setting up for like objectives that we're going for. So I think we're known for like getting ace and still winning the game, but
It's the win that still matters, right? The W on the screen at the end of the game, that's what we're all concerned about. That's what all the CLG fans are happy to see you guys walking away with. Now, last week, we heard from Smithy. He was saying that the team is making a lot of excuses for why the wins aren't showing up. What are you guys, as a team, as a group, doing to address those problems and fix those issues so you can keep finding these wins?
Excuses-wise, I don't think there's a lot of that, but obviously you'll have something to blame, blah, blah, blah. But it's just making sure that we are coming together and being consistent since, we know that we can be there, and it's just about being consistent.
And in terms of consistency, that's one thing that's really interesting to talk to, especially about the CLG roster, because you guys are one of the only rosters that was just like, no, we're sticking with the same 5 guys. We're going to be rolling with this into the next split. We think we can make this work. How do you feel that you guys are doing in terms of getting that level of consistency to the point where it is just game after game after game? Do you feel like you're closing in significantly on breaking new ground with that and becoming one of those like rock solid teams?
Yeah, definitely. That's what every team aspires to be, especially us. And upcoming for playoffs, I think if we win Sunday, we'll definitely be in playoffs, something like that. But it'll be fun, and I do expect us to do a lot better than what the entire season so far.
All right, speaking of playoffs, I got one last question for y'all. Heading to playoffs, obviously the goal here. Next week, you guys, well, not next week, I should say 2 days from now, still this week, you guys are going to be going up against FlyQuest, the team that you are very, very close with in the standings. How do you feel about that one? Is there any special prep going into that? Anything you can share with us about the CLG approach to the FlyQuest game on Sunday?
I think me personally, I hate playing FlyQuest only because Hai always makes super aggressive calls. And usually, shot calling wise, I think Hai and Mata have only been the ones that give me a hard time, only because they always make you decide between doing this or doing that. And after every time they reset from the base, they instantly decide to do something. So usually that's pretty mind-boggling and takes a toll for the long series, but I expect it.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in that mental battle, my friend. To you and to the entire squad from CLG, congratulations on the win today. Best of luck on Sunday, and we're going to go ahead and throw things over to the analyst desk now.
Thank you very much, Captain Flowers. A battle of the shot callers to come on Sunday. It's a nice little tee up there, and it's always wonderful to hear about how Hai can stretch people around the match. But today is about CLG crafting a 2-0 victory over Echo Fox. Again, not in the cleanest of fashions, but they do manage to pull it all together and kind of continue their climb here at the later stages of the season.
I kind of tend to agree with Afromoo. This was an okay 2-0. I mean,
yes, exactly.
They did not dominate, right? And CLG is always one of those teams, they have super high highs, but they have some pretty low lows. He's like, oh yeah, we're the team that gets ace but still wins the game. I mean, it's rare to see a team that can come back from that, but you always kind of have to think, hey, how good would they look if they clean that stuff up? If they're not getting double killed in a 2v2 randomly at the start of the game.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. 4:45 into the game. Once again,
Let's talk about
Echo
that.
Fox 2-0 in the bot lane here. And again, we talk about just the comparison of these two bot lanes on paper. People were talking about Aphromoo Stixxay #1 bot lane coming into the split.
I mean, Stixxay was talking about that, and I mean, Afro, this was not okay. Like, I think, yes, like the hook is fine. Okay, it looks funny because he misses by a lot, but wait, like,
You're picking a direction.
And I mean, the fact of the matter is, you should realize that you're going to lose this fight, and you should be flashing out early. Stixxay, I mean, obviously he thought he was out of range of the volley there, but if they very quickly back into this fight, yes, it's bad for their lane as far as giving up farm and giving up CS, but giving up 2 kills like that is not okay.
Holy shit.
And when you're playing against a better team, you don't get to come back from that, right? Like, if you give that up to C9, usually the game just ends because your bot lane gets so far behind. Echo Fox was able to get not only both the bot lane turrets off that, then go mid and get a turret too, right? Like, if you give that kind of a lead to a better team, you lose, period.
I was going to say, I think that's the major point there, is the fact that the recovery becomes a lot less possible as you move up the standings and when we get into the playoff picture and you're playing in a best-of-5 against C9 and TSM teams that are not going to afford you as many opportunities to claw your way back into it like Echo Fox will. And we saw that happen. 19 minutes into the game, ace in favor of CLG, 5 for 1 around the Dragon Pit here.
And one thing I gotta give a lot of credit to Smithy for is I can't think of another player who has stolen more objectives throughout the year.
Even in this game, he was going off.
He seems to be stealing Barons and Dragons all the time, and Huhi, with some pretty sweet play on the Talon, actually looked super good this game. I think across the board, he was playing very, very well. And it was one of the first times I actually saw the Talon. I was like, damn, that pick makes sense. That worked. That, like, you know, it worked. It looked really good.
Absolutely, yeah. And so this is what you were talking about, though, the ability to claw back in the game. Of course, it's not like that right there was the game ender. We've got to move forward to 28-20 here. Fox fight, dying at Baron, though. You know, this was all kinds of crazy.
The weird thing about this one for me was that CLG had Huhi take 2 turrets, and he was on the inhibitor. CLG's 4-man squad just needs to disengage while Huhi takes that inhibitor or try to delay them. Instead, they decide to collapse for the fight. They're on a different page. Huhi's in by himself. Like, they're going very disjointed into this fight. So, you know, to me, I think that A, they shouldn't have taken the fight probably in the first place, and B, when they did, it was not very well done. That said, most players are going to remember how this next part went.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, these are some of the mistakes that you're saying that still exist with CLG, and we want to see them, you know, kind of fix those minor errors in terms of, there's not a whole lot of communication clearly on this engage, but this, an even larger issue.
Yeah, I mean, everyone stacks up essentially here. They are pretty low from that fight, which is a major issue. Darshan has full health coming back into this, and the overheating flame spitter that he gets off is just so punishing to these people in the back line. He takes out multiple members. He's able to get so much damage done, and not only does he end up getting a quadra, but Smithy just wanders on in and smites the Baron away. And I mean, yes, the game did not end off this play, but the game was over.
Exactly. That's the key there, right? I mean, 4 kills going over to a Rumble. We've seen what gold on that champion can do. Once again, you've let Smithy steal away a second objective in just this single game. I mean, from a mental standpoint, I'm defeated. You know, now from a gold standpoint, I'm defeated. There in that stage of the game, or in the series, Echo Fox, really, I think it's all downhill.
Yeah, definitely. And I do want to give some credit to CLG as far as how they played that Baron. I actually thought that their siege, their split pressure was excellent as far as buffing up the Baron minions in the mid lane constantly. Huhi always threatening there, using the Thresh plus Ezreal combo to always get a couple autos off on every single wave, then Lantern out. I thought that a lot of what they did in this game was excellent, but it's marred by the fact that they have some very big errors.
Right, yeah, some lower tier teams can definitely take a look at the kind of the final 5 minutes of that game to see how to close a game. You got one inhib down, split up the Baron buff. Yeah, the Baron buff. And those are the elements of CLG that have remained constant, right? These higher level macro strategy elements, we've seen glimpses of brilliance throughout this entire split, just as we have seen in the past. It's those micro mistakes. It's those 2v2 skirmishes. It's the, you know, the weird pick here or something like that that's really kind of hindering their split.
And their strength is almost sometimes their weakness too, because we like to talk about how much of their team play, right? And sometimes they overcommit to the call.
Right.
And yeah, you do want to be on the same page, but that's how you see these random 15-minute aces against CLG and stuff, where it's like everyone's piling into what may not be a bad fight. fight. So I think that while it's fantastic to all be on the same page, you do sometimes have to be able to cut your losses and say, you know what? He's dead.
Exactly.
Leave.
Now, we had a couple front runners for player of the game this time around. We're looking at who he is, one of them, but Arshawn ultimately going to grab the award here. Again, that score line on the Rumble, you consider that fight there between him, Xmithie, against the world to secure the Baron. It's hard not to give it to him.
It really is. And I mean, he did very well in the early game. He was winning his lane quite heavily. And even roaming around the map, he still stayed pretty even or ahead in CS. Then he was massive in the late game team fights, had great equalizers. The guy had a great game.
From here on out, the story for CLG is that back to that strength of schedule from the beginning of the day, right? They have the easiest or second easiest. Yeah, they have the easiest. It's Dignitas that had the second easiest. That's correct. So having the easiest remaining schedule, you're looking at playing teams like Envy. I mean, that 11-7 record is not outside the realm of possibility
It
comes to play.
It's not, but it's CLG. You got to remember, if they play TSM, they play like TSM. If they play Envy, they play like Envy. So you never know what you're going to get. If they could be 11-7, they could lose their last two.
Guys, also talked about parity in the league. This is the second closest split by numbers so far in the North American LCS. It definitely feels like anything could happen. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close out the day, let's take a look at the rankings to see how the teams stack up after their win today. CLG pulled themselves into 4th place. Team Dignitas continues their hold of 6th, while Echo Fox and Team Liquid remain in 8th and 9th. We'll see which teams can continue their push for playoffs with our games tomorrow. Starting with Cloud9 versus Immortals on NALCS 1. TSM going against FlyQuest later in the day. Over on NALCS 2, Team Envy look to best a surging Team Dignitas. Then the Battle Theater plays host to Team Liquid versus Phoenix 1. That was a mouthful. Particular game tomorrow that you're looking at, that you're ultra high for?
Both of the A-Stream ones I'm really excited for. I think that for both Immortals and FlyQuest in particular needs to stop their losses if they want to even make the playoffs at this point.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us this evening. Hope to see you all tomorrow. For myself, the Casters' entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching the North American LCS. Good work.
First series today, Team Dignitas going to take the stage against Team Liquid. Jason popping the ult, he's going to hunt him down if he can. Goes after him, flag for flag.
나이스.
Okay, but what's on the
Diglet, oh, now he's in some trouble. A shockwave and then a sonic wave. Bye-bye. Diglet super switched to his turret, but I think he was going to back. Nice. Oh!
Victor.
Nice. Anytime Trevor comes to your lane, just give him your CS.
Yeah. Give him all that CS.
I'm down, dude.
Enable him to carry the game.
I don't know
You
about
guys
that.
don't need it.
You deserve this, Trevor.
That's good.
It's his birthday, guys. Give it to him.
Uh-oh. Will Acadian find his way out?
Oh!
Hey, sweet moves, I guess. He's out, man. He's still going. Oh, he's back in. Oh, now he's out again. Now he's again. He gotta go.
Gate can take a turret shot. Do they want it?
No!
He reaches him just the edge of the volley.
Ash, you're fine, Trevor. You're fine, Jay. Ash. Hey, wait, no flash. Go. Alright, Sushner.
Nice, good job.
I got flash.
Hell
Hey, good
yeah,
shit, boys.
baby.
He's on the hunt.
This goes right through the front door of the parapet. Says high five, everybody. He's gonna knock us out. Barry's gonna get smited down by Xmithie. A quadra kill. In the series to counter Logic Gaming over Echo Fox.
Your team has destroyed An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Of many.
Slain an enemy. Legendary.
Stone.
Legendary.
Smaller than the diagram.
A true master, isn't it? Not let your
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Woo!
master, isn't it, careful student?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
In me, Wuju lives on.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Has destroyed a turret. ally has been slain.
Show you the path.
Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain.
Before strength.
Holy fuck. Oh.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Lives on.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
I will show you the path.
An ally has been slain.
Form before strength. The focused light can pierce through stone. A master. Do not let your pride blind you.
Woo! Oh yeah, what a comeback! Oh my god. Holy cow. Oh yeah. Woo, 27K. Oh my god. He was so fucking OP. Wow. Oh shit,